You knew my friend Sharon Gilmore, didn't you? She died on these stairs. She fell all the way down to the bottom. It was an accident, they said. But you and I know that that's not true. Don't we, Mr. Stewart?
Vera, or rather, Miss Bennett.
Good morning, Mr. Stewart. How was your meeting with Mr. Westmore last night?
Fine. You know Mr. Westmore, do you?
I didn't realize he delivered your mail to you. By the way, did he happen to mention whether or not he'd been able to acquire Burns's house?
No, he didn't. He said he was rather interested.
You know, Mr. Stewart, something's just struck me as being rather odd.
What's that?
Doreen Burns. Mr. Westmore wanted to buy her house and she refused to sell. Then she was threatened by an unknown male officer and had to be released from solitary, obviously for her own protection. And then last night at the hotel, Mr. Westmore arrives and hands you a rather large envelope.
I don't see what my meeting with Westmore and the pub has got to do with all this.
You must admit it's rather interesting. Now, Burns happens to sell her house as well. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Davidson's calling a staff meeting later this morning to discuss the whole incident. I'll see you there.
Why bother the governor? She's a pretty busy woman.
Not too busy for this.
You're going to look a fool, Vera. I had private business with Westmore, nothing to do with anyone in this prison.
Okay, tell her that.
Vera, I thought we were supposed to be friends.
You seem to have some very peculiar friends.
You mean Westmore? He's all right.
It doesn't seem right to me. What was he doing pressurizing Doreen into selling her house?
He offered her a perfectly good price. Now, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. Unless it turns out you're getting a cut on the side. You're supposed to be in the prison service, not real estate.
I'm telling you, everything was above board.
If that's so, you've nothing to hide from Mrs. Davidson.
Come on, Vera, there's got to be some pickings in this lousy game. You know what it's like. I mean, the scum that we've got to look after, the abuse we've got to take. You've been taking abuse from these vindictive bitches for years. Don't you think you're worth more than the mere pittance that they pay you?
I'm quite satisfied with my salary, thank you.
Are you? Well, I'm not. I deserve more out of this game, and I'm going to make sure that I get it.
Have you been leaning on Doreen Anderson?
Why, what do you mean?
Intimidating her.
Good God, no. Only tried to point out to her the wonderful business opportunity that was been presented to her. I mean, $100,000 for a normal suburban house, that's a damn good price. If anything, I was doing her a favor.
And yourself no harm.
Okay, sure, so I did get a little bit of commission.
We're not here to get little bits of commission. I'll have to tell the governor.
Yeah, well, you do that. I can't say that I'm not disappointed, though. I looked after you when that Vincent woman put you on the spot.
There's a difference. I was innocent.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us.
Mrs. Davidson trusts me.
Does she? That's why she took Kerry Vincent's word against yours, eh?
I have already spoken to Mr. Fletcher, so he knows about this. We have a very serious problem concerning one of the male staff. At least it will be serious if the accusation is true.
Who laid the complaint, Mrs. Davidson? One of the prisoners?
Indirectly, yes.
Then you can't give it any credence, can you?
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson, but surely this concerns only the officer in question.
It would if we knew his identity.
Unspecified charges against an unspecified officer?
The charges are specific. Doreen Anderson, or Burns as she is now, is being terrorized by someone in here into selling her house.
Why does it have to be a member of staff?
Are you sure there's no pressure from outside? I mean, she had one visit, at least from one pretty rough-looking character.
No, Paul Reed is sure it is someone in here. Her husband asked her why she had changed her mind about the house, and the answer came back, he would have killed me.
She's not very reliable, though, inclined to fantasy a bit.
Why didn't she say who it was?
Doreen Anderson doesn't make much sense at the best of times. Scared half out of her wits, even less. I could hardly get a word out of her, much less a name.
If it is a man, there aren't many candidates.
No, that is why it is so unfair on the men who are not involved. I can only ask you to use your eyes and ears. And if you do hear anything, to let me know immediately. I don't like asking you to spy on a fellow officer. But if there is one rotten apple, we have to get it out of the barrel. Well, that is all. Good morning. Thank you for your attention.
Got a minute?
Haven't you heard? I got 10 years.
So I owe you an apology.
Yeah?
I know you didn't kill Sharon.
Well, I'm glad the penny finally dropped.
Look, I'm sorry. I thought it had to be you.
Naturally.
Don't make it easy for
Hey.
me.
What finally convinced you?
I know who really killed her.
Who?
I can't say right now.
Oh, now, come on. I know there are a few murderers on the premises, but I'd kind of like to know who's still in business.
Look, give me time, will you?
Time? Hell of a life I saved could be my own.
You're right. I've promised Dora I wouldn't say anything. Look, I'm sorry, honey. We can't let him get away with this. Jock Stewart killed her.
Why, for God's sake?
Well, she must have heard him heading Doreen about the house. You know, sell up or I'll beat the hell out of you.
Is that why you've been so freaked out? Why didn't you tell someone?
He'd have killed me.
Is that why you agreed to sell?
I had to, Bea.
You should have told one of the screws.
Who would have believed me? It was me against him. He'd already told me that he'd knocked off Sharon and they were saying it was an accident. I didn't want an accident to happen to me. And now she's gone and told everybody and it's going to get back to him and I only have to be in solitary just once and he'll get me.
Oh, stop worrying, Dor. You've got friends. We'll see you're all right, love.
Yeah, we're going to see that he gets his.
Yeah, how? He's as smooth as butter.
Well, if we could set him up, then the screws would see what a murdering bastard he really is. Are you with me, Bea?
I'll think about it.
Don't be. Maybe you'll leave me alone. Now I'm going to sell the house.
And that's going to make everything all right, is it? Not in my books, it's not. Now, are you going to help me set him up or not?
I said I'd think about it. Don't worry, Kim. Nothing's going to happen to you.
Thanks for not telling the governor, Vera.
Only through lack of proof. You did threaten Anderson, didn't you?
She overreacted, that's all.
You must have thrown a scare into her. Perhaps I've proof enough. Anderson's condition, her husband's statement, plus me seeing you with Westmore. Well, that all adds up to a fairly convincing body of evidence.
You can discount Anderson. She's a rat bag. Just look at her history. Look, I'd go and see the governor myself, but I've already been in front of a royal commission.
You were innocent, of course.
Of course. Of course I was. I was acquitted. But any more suspicion coming my way and I could lose my job. Now, don't do that to me, Vera.
I couldn't care less if you lost your job. Men shouldn't be working here anyway.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you half the commission if you keep your mouth shut. That's half of 10% of $100,000. Keep moving, ladies. We don't want that gourmet meal getting cold now, do we? You get any complaints, Burns? Or are you quite happy with the way things are?
Doreen's not that cheerful, Mr. Stewart.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, she's been pushed around a bit lately.
Has she? By who?
We thought you might know that.
You're a quick man with a hard push, aren't you, Mr. Stewart?
No lodging. Come on, move along. All of you, come on, get on your way.
Did you break Sharon's neck before you threw her down the stairs? Or did the fall do it?
I said move it. That breakfast bell went minutes ago.
Sharon was a pretty girl, wasn't she? That how you get your kicks, killing pretty girls?
What's she trying to do? Get into the pound for life.
You know, there was a whore in here who said you had quite a reputation for beating up the girls. What did you do to Sharon?
What's this, Bryant?
You know, no one was watching you. You didn't give her a chance, did you? All you did was give her a quick push from behind.
That's enough of that, Bryant. All right, women, move. You heard me, move! You're supposed to exercise control over these women.
Oh, the only way to stop that crazy woman is with a fist. But I raise one finger and immediately I'm the heavy. I tell you, a man just can't win.
What was that about Gilmore?
Oh, Brian's absolutely bonkers. You know that.
Aren't you going to put her on report?
It's not worth the trouble.
You are accusing him of killing Sharon Gilmore?
Well, it's not up to me to accuse another officer. I'm merely saying it ought to be looked into.
Another allegation from a prisoner?
Yes, but he didn't want the allegation heard. Not by you. If he'd had a clear conscience, he'd have put that woman on a charge straight away.
Well, he certainly should have.
There are a few things about Mr. Stewart you don't know. He is involved in the sale of Anderson's house. I saw him accepting money from Westmore, who's been pressuring her to sell.
You are sure of your facts, Vera?
He admitted it. Said it was a business deal, all above board.
All above board, indeed. We can guess how he persuaded Doreen.
I know this doesn't make him guilty of murder, but it does show he's crooked.
And possibly violent. He terrified Doreen. I want to see her immediately after lunch, Vera. We have to get this sorted out. Had you had any contact with him previously?
No, Mrs. Davidson.
What did he want with you?
Well, it was about my mum's house. He wanted me to sell it.
Mr. Stewart was at that interview, Mrs. Davidson.
No one had approached you to sell the house previously?
Well, Mr. Westmore had.
The solicitor?
Yeah.
But not Mr. Stewart? Did he ask you to sell the house after the interview,
I didn't
Doreen?
say he did.
Just calm down. We would appreciate your help.
But I was going to sell it anyway. I wanted to sell, because while I've had that house, I've had nothing but trouble. Nobody's safe. They're not me, not Kevin, not anyone.
If you are being harassed into selling, you have only to tell me, Doreen. I will see that you have no further trouble. Very well. It is your house. There is one other thing. It has been suggested that Sharon Gilmore's death was not an accident.
Well, the cops said it was an accident.
Well, the police had not heard Judy Bryant on the matter. You heard her this morning? Why did she not tell the police when they were here?
Well, she thought B had done it till then.
But now she has more reliable information?
Speak up, Burns. If you have anything to say, tell us.
Whoever it was, you will come to no harm.
Mrs. Davidson, I feel sick. Can I go and lie down?
But it was you who threatened the girl.
Did she say so?
Obviously not. She was too frightened.
Well, that's hardly evidence, is it?
Miss Bennett has come up with something more substantial. Your connection with the man who tried to buy her house.
So I know a few people in real estate, so what?
You were seen receiving money from him.
Yeah, money that I'd already lent him, that's right.
Mr. Stewart, we must not only be honest, we must be seen to be honest. Your conduct has been open to too many interpretations.
If you say so.
And your explanation's far too glib for my liking. It is not for me to decide the extent of your involvement in what is possibly extortion. That is for the police. But I can have you transferred back to Pentridge. I shall put in my report to the department, and they can decide what to do.
Sack me, I suppose.
You should choose a job more suited to your talents. Real estate, perhaps? You know the way out.
Drew might be weak or greedy, but not Laughing Boy. I reckon he's psycho.
You know, if we could just get them to see his true colours once, the real Jock Stewart.
He's too smart for you to make him blow his cool.
Well, I can give it the old college try.
Oh, well, good luck. The way you're going, you won't last a month out.
Yeah, another accident, eh?
Well, he's just the boy to do it. He'll probably spread the word that you killed yourself over Sharon.
Took your time.
Listen, you all heard Judy heavying Jock this morning.
Yeah, and he just stood there and took it.
On account of it happens to be true.
Why don't we dob him in?
Well, do you think anyone's going to take our word against the screws? No way.
What are we going to do then, B?
Judy thinks he'll blow his cover if she keeps monstering him.
She's not going to make old bones.
Not unless we help her. Now, listen, I don't want her ever left alone with him. So if you see him hanging around her, one of us has got to hang around. So if anything happens, we can give a bloody good yell. Oh, hello, Mr. Reed. How are you?
I want Doreen.
You can't have her. She's a married woman now.
Come on, Doreen.
Well, if it isn't the lady killer. You weren't near those stairs, were you, Jock? Nowhere near those stairs when Sharon was killed? Murderer! Murdering bastard! I hope you're frying hell, you bloody butcher!
Have you gone mad?
He killed her. He's the one.
Now, I know you're upset, but you must be reasonable. Sharon's death was accidental. She fell.
She was pushed.
You don't know that.
He did it to keep her quiet, I know.
You need any help, Mrs. Jason?
Oh, you'll get yours, you murdering bastard.
That's quite enough. Now, you listen to me. You've got to stop these crazy accusations.
I'll prove he killed her.
Stop it. Now, if you don't come to your senses, Bryant, you'll end up in the isolation block. Permanently.
I can't wait till I see him again tomorrow.
You expect another visit? But you had one this morning.
Well, they come from the country. It's not as though they lived in Melbourne.
Look, the Screws wouldn't care if they lived in Timbuktu. They're not supposed to come popping in here whenever they feel like it.
How many visitors have I had in the last 20 years? Don't you reckon they owe me a few now that I've got a family?
Oh, Lizzie, you're mad. Yeah, it's him.
Brian, I want a word with you.
Do you now?
Yeah. Outside.
Got the big A, did you, Mr. Stewart?
No, they're just transferring me, that's all.
They should have hung you.
Well, I don't think they'll go as far as that. They might ask me to resign, of course, but that's okay with me. Because I'm pretty sick and tired, in any case, prodding big fat cows like you around.
You know something? The police are onto you, Jock.
No. In fact, they've asked me to help them with their investigations. And I'm a pretty helpful chap, as you well know. You see, that accident of Gilmore's seems to have them a little bit flummoxed.
Accident, my ass. You killed her.
You know something, Bryant? The staff are pretty well convinced that you need psychiatric help. Why don't you just show them all how right they are, huh?
You're going to get yours, you know that?
No, you see, because it's only your word against mine. And you're as nutty as a fruitcake. Now, I'm going to walk right out of here, free as a bird. Forget the whole thing. But you're going to be locked up for a long, long time. Long enough to go start ravers. Shouldn't have done that, Brian. I was very, very naughty. You know, for that, I'm going to have to tell you the whole truth. You see, I did kill him. Yeah, I did. You want to know why? Because she overheard me heavying Anderson. And then the silly little slut thought she was going to blackmail me. So I stopped her on the landing. And I just put my hands round her throat. And I said to her, listen, how about giving us a wee kiss before I chuck you down the stairs? You should have heard her. She promised me everything. And then I said to her, sorry, kid, I'm just not in the mood. And I gave her one hard shove. And you know something else? She made a sound when she hit the bottom. Sounded like one of those full hot water bottles. See you around, kid. It's been nice knowing you.
What did he say to you? He killed her. He told me he did. He was laughing when he said it.
Don't let him get you alone, Jude.
Oh, there's no chance of that. He's leaving Wentworth.
Thank goodness for that.
And the cops aren't doing anything.
Well, what can they do? As he said, it's his word against mine, and who the hell am I? Oh, poor Sharon. A poor little kid.
Well, at least they're chucking him out, Jude.
You know, when he was in here, I could have got at him somehow. I would have got him on the stairs. I would have got him in the garden with a pick. I would have got him somehow. But now there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck in here.
Mrs. Jackson, have you seen Judy around?
She's gone to see the governor. Why?
Well, I think someone should keep an eye on Jude. Did you see her last night? She was ticking like an unexploded bomb.
I'm sure Mrs. Davidson can cope. You get back to work there. Oh, what's up now, Lizzie?
Oh, nothing, Mrs. Jackson. Pete, what am I gonna do? Well, you could blow your nose, for starters. Keep it.
But it's yours, Pete.
I just lost interest in it.
Pete, Marcy just came to see me. She's then going back to the bush.
Well, that's where they live, isn't it?
Make you laugh, wouldn't it? All that money coming to me and I can't even afford to see my own family.
Well, how much are you short?
Oh, a couple of $100 and Marcy would have no worries.
Why don't you ask Doreen for a loan? She's got money lying around the bank doing nothing.
Where is she?
Oh, good. Faster than a speeding bullet.
I don't know, Lizzie.
Oh, come on, love, I'll pay it back.
I know you would, Lizzie, but see, I've got to give some to Kevin, because Jock Stewart's mate's made an awful mess of his truck, and I know he'll get the insurance, but that won't be tomorrow.
Oh, come on, Dor. Tomorrow might be too late. I've got to see Josie again. I could be dead by the time they come back.
Oh, all right, Lizzie. I don't suppose Kevin needs it all, but how are we going to get to it?
Mrs. Jackson might know.
Well, Mr. Reed might be able to arrange something.
Can we go to the bank straight away and get it?
You won't be going to the bank, Lizzie. It's Doreen's money, after all. Now, you get back to work. You come with me, Doreen, and see what Mr. Reed has to say.
Doesn't his own confession mean anything to you? Jock Stewart told me he killed her.
Legally, that confession means nothing at all. No one else can corroborate it.
But I know he killed her.
For what reason?
Look, everybody in the whole damn prison knows that Stewart was heavying Doreen about selling her house. Now, my guess is that Sharon
That's
overheard...
all it is, Bryant. A guess.
Oh, my God. You people are unbelievable. Does a person lose all of their rights just because they're in prison? Can an innocent woman be slaughtered just like a nano because she's behind bars?
That she fell. No one can prove that she was pushed. The coroner has to bring in a verdict of accidental death. The same would apply if it happened in her own home.
Oh. You lot really look after your own, don't you? Why should I worry about Jock Stewart? He's just another maggot in this whole rotten system.
I shall talk to you again when you are calmer. Take her away, Mrs. Knox.
Yeah, that's right. You just sweep it under the carpet. You don't let anyone know what's really happening at Wentworth.
Well, how'd it go? Did Davo believe you?
She couldn't have cared less. Said I had to have proof. They're covering up, you know.
And you told her that?
In spades.
Oh, that's going to be terrific if you ever need her on side.
Yeah, well, who says I ever will?
Thought you Yanks had a saying. You can't fight City Hall.
You can if you're mad enough.
Oh, sure you can fight. I was talking about winning.
Yeah, well, they'll know they've had a fight by the time I'm finished with them. Davidson, Stewart, the whole damn prison system. They're going to pay for Sharon's death in full.
And whatever happened to that old-time religion? I thought you were into turning the other cheek.
Not now, not over this. Look, Bea, I know you didn't like Sharon much. But if we let Jock Stewart get away with this, who's to say some other smart screw isn't going to try the same? And you know what? You might find that your life won't be worth that.
You know you're not wrong. And we can't let him get away with that.
What are you doing, Lizzie? What do you mean, it's my turn?
You just put a 5 next to a 6.
Oh, yeah. All them dots make me eyes go funny.
Oh, bugger.
What's the matter, love?
Oh, well, I've gone and done it all wrong.
Just unpick it and start it again.
You better get used to it. You'll be making them for your own kids next.
Oh, yeah, terrific marriage I've got, eh? My husband living on his own and me stuck in here.
Well, you've only got a couple of months to go. And then wacko.
Don't be so crude, Bea. Dora's upset.
I know, I'm trying to cheer her up, aren't I?
Yeah, but suppose he finds somebody else.
What?
Well, a bloke needs a woman sometimes, and he might decide he can't wait for me.
Oh, Kev's not like that. He's a decent bloke.
Yeah, stop worrying. You got a ring on your finger and he's got one through his nose. He'll wait.
Oh, I suppose.
Doreen, Lizzie, I have a message for you.
What about?
Mr. Reed phoned. He said to tell you that Kevin has taken Marcia and Josie to the house and everything's organised.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Jackson.
Oh, what do you reckon? No, you and me have both got someone waiting for us when we...
Of course, Marcy's a very good mother. She looks after Josie real well. And when I get out, I'm going to help her. I'm going to take her... So, Dora, where do you take kids?
I don't know. Zoo, I suppose.
Yeah, the zoo. I'm going to take her to the zoo.
I would have thought you'd had enough of bars and cages.
When I get out, I'm going to go dancing with Kevin. Because I really like dancing.
Yeah. And I'll take her to the pictures. I've got to take her to pictures.
Will you two shut up and let me get some sleep? What's up with you?
Nothing.
That's the lunch bill. Aren't you eating?
I am not eating until they hold a full inquest into Sharon's death. Let's see if they'll risk the life of another prisoner.
Oh, don't be so bloody stupid. You don't think they're going to let you die in a hunger strike, do you?
They can't force me to eat if I don't want to.
I've heard that before. You know what they do? They dope you to the eyeballs and they keep you alive on a glucose drip. And while all that's going on, you don't suppose they're going to flash your ugly mug all over the front pages of the newspapers, do you? They won't even know about it. The screws will see to that.
Yeah, well, if everyone went on strike, they couldn't force-feed the lot of us.
What, this lot miss out on their tucker? You've got to be kidding. I can ask them to do a lot of things. That isn't one of them.
You said you'd help me, Bea.
And I will. But you're going to have to think of something better than a hunger strike. Now, come and have some lunch. Well, looks like new neighbours have moved in. You've been here before, haven't you?
Yeah, but only to visit. My mum was in here, Nolene Burke.
Oh, isn't it a small world?
Bloody Nolene.
Yeah, I'm Leanne.
All right, Leanne. Your mum probably wouldn't have told you this, seeing as how she was too thick to understand, but I run this place, and you'll do as I tell you. Got it?
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Bea, she's only a little kid.
She's Nolene Burke's kid, which means she's probably a brick short of the load.
What do you mean by that? My mum's all right. I don't listen to her, love. Bea and your mum just didn't get on all right, that's all.
Nolene didn't get on very well with anybody. Where is she now? They send her back to Barnhurst this time.
No, she's got a job in an office.
What is she, a computer programmer?
She works in the canteen.
Okay, Leanne, you and I'll get on just fine, as long as you do as you're told. I'll give you a bit of friendly advice. I'd make that bed if I were you before Vinegar Tits sees it. Otherwise, you'll get a real Wentworth welcome.
God, isn't there anything better on than this crap? And what are you doing? Oh, I'm making a soft toy. I have to put the stuffing in it yet, though. Looks like you stuffed it already.
Oh, shut up, Leanne.
Who's the kid?
Leanne Burke, one of a plague.
Huh?
When the Burkes go out, they get the Pied Piper to call them together.
She's so young. What's she in for?
Thieving. It's the family business.
Hello. I'm Judy Bryant.
I'm Leanne.
You settling in okay?
Oh, yeah. Got to get to know people, but...
Oh, you will. Plenty of nice people here.
Bryant.
Make a friend.
It's Burke's first day. Let's not give her the wrong idea of Wentworth, eh?
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Mr. Fletcher, but I'm not on the prowl tonight. I'm just looking for conversation.
Burns. Doreen Burns.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Fletcher. I'm not used to being called Burns.
Yes, we might be able to help you there. The governor's granted you a day's leave for tomorrow. You can spend it with your husband.
You lucky cow.
Good on you, Dora.
What for?
Oh, come on, don't knock it, kid.
All right, you heard it. Come on, move it.
Oh, wedding and everything. Hey, Judy, you there?
Shut up, Mac. Shut up, all of you, and go to sleep.
To, Burke?
An accident, Miss Bennett. I was cleaning the nails and I dropped the nail polish from
Do you expect me to believe that?
It was an accident, honest!
What's the damage?
No, it's pretty bad. We'll have to get another mattress from store.
Let her sleep on it or put her in solitary.
It was an accident, Mr. Fletcher. Honest, it was an accident.
We can get some more blankets from the infirmary, but we can't put her into solitary.
We'll give her Sharon Gilmore's bed for the night.
Are you kidding? You're as much against that as I was this afternoon.
All right, solitary. It's only for one night. She's in a single cell anyway.
No, I don't like it. I mean, if news gets out, we could be accused of unfair treatment. I mean, it might have been an accident.
Oh, any other suggestions?
All right, put her in with Bryant. But we'll keep the spy hole open just in case.
All right, you. Move.
Where am I going?
You'll find out sooner or later. And remember, Bryant, this'll stay open all night.
They come all the way down from Echuca and they're not even allowed in.
Now, come off it, Lizzie. You've had more visitors this past week than I've had in a year.
Well, Marcia and me have got a lot of time to catch up.
Well, now that they're living in the house, they'll be able to come in every week.
Well, I still don't think it's fair.
Hey, B.
Listen, I've been thinking about what you've been saying. You know, a way of attracting attention to demand a fair inquest.
And?
Well, what if we go on strike? You know, refuse to do a thing until we get a fair hearing?
Oh, you're not bad. You know what they'll do, don't you? They'll stick us in our cells and try and starve us out. But if we were prepared, laid in some supplies, got some grub from the kitchens, I'll see who's on kitchen duty.
You mean you'll be in it?
Leave it with me.
What's the time?
2 minutes later than the last time you asked. Keep calm, love.
Oh, I can't help it.
Yeah, we know what you were happy about.
You will ask Kev to take you to see Josie, won't you?
Oh, yeah, sure, Lizzie.
Bea, I heard you wanted to see me.
Oh, yeah, you're on kitchen duty this week.
Well, so what?
I want you to get as much food as you possibly can from the kitchens and stow it away in the cells.
What for?
Because we're going to be needing it soon. Get everything you can that isn't nailed down. Biscuits, cheese, bread, you know, whatever.
Well, how am I going to get it out?
You'll find a way. Just do it. Everything you can get away with.
Well, what if I get caught?
Then we'll come and visit you in the pound.
I don't know, Bea.
Lorna.
All right. All right.
Burns,
That you, love? Yes, Miss Fletcher?
your husband's waiting for you in reception.
Have a nice time with Kev.
Oh, see you later, girls.
Yeah, bye. And don't worry him out all at once.
In pain, Bea.
I'll tell you. Hey, Lorna. Did you do that little favour for me?
Yes, Bea, there's extra tucker in all the cells.
Good girl. Well, looks like we're all set.
Oh, will you look at this? They've cut out the crossword.
Oh, there's probably something on the other side they didn't want you to see, Lizzie.
Yeah, you wouldn't read about it.
That's why they do it.
Listen, Bea. I'm going to ask to see the governor in the morning. Demand a fair hearing. Now, if I don't get any action, you can blow the whistle at lunchtime.
Yeah, okay, I'll spread the word. If it's no go with Mrs. Davidson, It's everybody out.
Right. Listen, I'd like to leave Leanne out of this. She's only a kid, and it won't look good on her record.
I'd like to leave that little brat out of it too. But if her mother's anything to go by, she'll be in there, boots and all. It's Burke by name and Jerk by nature.
I'll raise you 5 matches.
I'm out.
Oh, let's see you.
Full house. 9s and jacks.
I see, old devil.
That means you owe me, 275 matches.
How about I just buy you a lighter and we call it quits?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Doreen. How's that old married lady?
Terrific.
I bet you are.
Did you get to see Marcia and Joe's?
Oh, well, I didn't really have time, Lizzie.
Oh, Dor, you promised. Oh, come on, Lizzie. Kevin probably didn't give her a minute to herself.
I'm real sorry, Lizzie.
Oh, I don't mind, as long as you had a good time, love.
Listen, love, tomorrow morning, Judy's going up to see Mrs. Davidson about an inquiry into Sharon's death. If it's no go, we're all going out and strike.
What for?
Oh, stir up a bit of publicity, that sort of thing. We've got food stored away in our cells just in case they try and lock us up.
But it's too late.
What do you mean?
The inquest was today. I read it in the paper. They said it was accidental death.
Oh, bastard. He's got away with it.
Look, maybe it isn't too late. Hang on, girls, just stay where you are a minute. Slight change of plans. What do you reckon?
We got nothing to lose.
Okay, snap.
Good grief, you lot get later and later each night. Come on, back to your cells.
Well, come on, move.
What's going on, Smith?
Well, we refuse to move until we get a fair and unbiased inquiry into Sharon Gilmore's death.
You serious?
I've never been more serious in all my life, Mr. Fletcher.
How many of them are there?
9, Smith's mob.
I thought you said Bryant was the one demanding to see me.
Well, she is, but Smith's backing her up.
All security gates are locked and the rest of the women are in their cells.
Good.
I thought I gave instructions that all mention of the inquest was to be taken out of the papers.
Yeah, well, it was, but, well, my guess is they found out from Anderson. She'd been let out for the day.
Why do they always think that the system is working against them?
We want the governor. 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 We want the governor.
The only thing you'll get from this is solitary. No one's going to listen to a pack of yelling animals.
In case you haven't noticed, this is a peaceful demonstration and we've got a legitimate complaint.
That's right. We're going to stay out on strike until we are heard.
You're a fool, Bryant. Why don't you ask Smith how these things end up? She's had a lot of practice in getting people hurt or killed in order to get her own way.
We thought we'd take a leaf out of your book, Vera. You screws got what you wanted when you went on strike.
Yeah, and we were the ones who still copped it being locked up all that time. We could have all died of starvation before you came looking for us.
You'll never learn, will you? There's a big difference between the behavior of normal people and rabble like you.
And the difference is we haven't got any rights, and that's what this is all about.
You're criminals. You don't deserve any rights.
We want the governor. We want the governor. We want
Thank you, Miss Bennett.
We want the governor.
Shut up.
I was under the impression you knew I am always prepared to listen to any complaints or worries you may have. But in my office, at the right time and in a civilized manner.
Well, we want much more than just a good ear. We want something done about this.
Yeah, we want action.
We want action. We want action.
I won't be dictated to, Bryant. If you have something to say, say it.
We want action. We want action.
Okay, build up.
All right. Now, you say to me that Sharon was killed accidentally, right?
That is correct.
Sharon was murdered, and a screw in here murdered her. Now, I want you to get your chief to organize another inquest. Only this time, we want Jock Stewart convicted.
Don't be ridiculous. I was at the hearing and there was nothing to indicate she was murdered.
That's just because she was a crim. They wouldn't care how she snuffed it, just as long as there's one less to worry about.
Built up.
Listen, why the hell didn't they get me on the stand? I mean, he told me he murdered her, goddammit.
Yeah, and if he bashed into me, he could have killed Sharon real easy.
Right.
We think Judy's got a good point. Now, she might only be interested in seeing that Sharon's murderer gets what he deserves, but we see it this way. We let one screw get away with bashing and killing, and we leave ourselves wide open for the next punchy screw that comes along.
That's right. We could all be raped in our sleep.
Mr. Stewart will not be working in prisons again.
Oh, big deal. He still gets away with it, doesn't he? Listen, we're not moving from here until something is done about it.
Yeah, we want action.
We want action. We want action.
Suit yourselves. I'm sure you'll think slightly differently after spending a night in here.
We want
Perhaps
action.
in the morning you'll listen
action.
to reason.
We want action.
And if you get any ideas about damaging the prison property, it'll be your loss because it won't be replaced.
We want action.
Breaks my heart.
We want action. We want action. We want action. We want action. We want action.
We can try and get them back in their cells.
Well, somebody might get hurt. I think an uncomfortable night would do more good. Besides, I'd rather they get it out of their system, away from the other women. Would you check the other cells, please?
Yes, certainly.
It's easy for a cause like this to spread right to the prison. Then we'd really have our hands full.
Put Smith and Bryant in solitary, then the others will come to their senses.
Martyrs only make matters worse, and they think we had something to hide. No, we'll see if they're calmer in the morning. Would you see that there's somebody, an officer, on duty all night, please, Miss Bennet?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
And if possible, try to ignore them. It's pointless adding more fuel to the fire.
Sharon was murdered. Sharon was murdered. Sharon was murdered. Sharon was murdered.
What do you think, Bea?
Sharon was
Well, I don't think Davis is going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Why the hell didn't they listen to us?
Sharon was murdered.
They never pay any attention to us until we sit up and make them.
Sharon was murdered.
Been here a few days. Oh, we must have just interrupted her night in the tiles. You see the way she was dolled up.
Davo's all right. She'll come good, won't she be?
She's still part of the system, and she thinks the system is always right.
Oh, what's going on?
Flaming hell.
Lights out.
But Mrs. Barry, we can't see what we're doing.
Well, you should have thought of that before you started anything.
The telly's not working either.
They must have pulled the plug on us.
You know, she's not wrong.
What?
I reckon we played our hand too fast.
Yeah, well, why did you go along with me? You got a better idea?
No, I haven't. But I've got all night to think of one.
You've been awake all night, babe.
No, I cooked 40 winks.
Did you come up with anything?
Depends on Judy.
I want to go to the loo.
Hang on for a bit longer.
Don't reckon I can.
Think about something else. What about Kevin?
Oh, yeah. Gee, we had a real good time yesterday, Bea. We ate out, and then I had all these things that I was supposed to do, you know. But we spent the time, oh, well, at the flat, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got to tell Lizzie something. What? Oh, well, Kevin. Kevin reckons that Marcy is ripping her off, that she's not really her daughter. I couldn't really follow it. Anyhow, it was something Josie let slip. But Kevin told Mr. Reed and he's doing some checking, but I thought I'd better warn Lizzie just in case.
Hold your horses for a second. You sure Kevin's got his story straight? Is he positive that this character's a con artist?
Well, no, not really.
Well, then leave it.
Hey?
Look, this is the best thing that's ever happened to Lizzie. She suddenly got herself a daughter and a granddaughter. So this person's a fraud. So what?
Yeah, but what if they're after Lizzie's compo money?
Well, we'll worry about that even when it happens. Just try it for the minute.
Okay. Feels like I've been kicked downstairs. Oh, I only meant... Oh, geez, Lizzie, you got a fag?
They'll stunt your growth. Oh, I slept like a log.
Officer Berry, I have to go to the toilet.
Sit down, Lorna.
It's all right for you, but I've got a weak bladder. Come on.
Just a minute. Come here. We can wait, you know. You'll all have to come out eventually, and we'll pick you up one by one. Lock her in a cell.
Come on.
You pig! Rotten mongrel!
Sleep well, did you, ladies?
Oh, shut up!
Listen, did you think any more about what I said last night?
Of course.
We've got to stick together on this, otherwise we're going to get nowhere.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Fletch, any chance of Judy and me seeing the governor?
That depends whether you're going to be sensible about all this.
I think we've got it sorted out.
Oh, we can't chuck it in now. Not after what we went through last night.
What you'll go through today will be a whole lot worse if you don't keep your trap shut. We've had enough, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, come on.
Would it be too much to suggest that the security gates remain locked?
Good idea. Could I leave that with you? Come in. I trust we can discuss this calmly.
We want to know how to go about getting a new inquest.
Unless you have fresh evidence, it cannot be done.
You gave Stewart the boot. You must think he's guilty too, Mrs. Davidson.
Mr. Stewart was suspended because of accusations against him. The department investigated, and as I told you, he will not be working in prisons anymore.
Well, that means they think he's guilty, too.
He was investigated over the matter of striking Doreen, and it was decided there was enough doubt to relieve him of his position, nothing more.
What about Sharon? I mean, he told me he killed her.
I know how you felt about her, Bryant. And as I told you, your accusations were investigated. But the police were unable to find sufficient proof to back it up. The inquest ruled it as accidental death. Now, you will just have to accept that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Bryant?
Yeah, sure.
I trust we will hear no further on the matter, either from you or any of the other women.
I'll tell him.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
If you ask me, Smith gave in just a little bit too easily.
Yes, I tend to agree with you.
We could have stuck it out longer. Well, I couldn't have. I thought you lot were meant to be tough.
Oh, come on. Don't stand around all day.
Well, where is everyone?
We're going to keep the whole prison waiting just for you, Smith.
Now, why didn't I think of that? I would have said it was because you didn't want us to spread the good oil to the rest of them.
What's Mrs. Davidson going to do, Bea?
Nothing. She's just like the rest of them.
Come on, Birdsmith, keep it moving. Not there, over here. Come on.
Ah! Anyone had reckoned we hadn't got any rights.
True word was spoken.
And I don't want you two sitting together either. Come on.
Or what? You're going to wait for us on the stairs like your mate?
Ah, go on, let him have his fun. It makes him feel like a big man.
Listen, I don't know whether Davidson's bought it or not. We've got to make out that we've forgotten about our pound of flesh, right?
Look, if she's not going to do anything about it, then it's up to us. We got to let the outside world know what it's really like in this place. And the only way we can do that's through the newspapers.
Yeah, but we can't just ring up the papers and say we've got a story.
This afternoon, when we go out for exercise, we're going to demonstrate.
Demonstrate what, Bea?
Injustice, Lizzie. Get as many women together as we can. We're going to have to outnumber the screws.
You mean we're going to riot?
Will you just eat your breakfast, for God's sake?
Well, they'll just call the cops or the fire brigade. The papers mightn't even get here.
I know that's a risk, but we're going to have to hold out until they do.
What if we get word to them and tell them what's going to happen in advance? How? Nolene's coming in this morning. She said she would anyway.
Is that your mum?
She can get a message out for us. Nolene wouldn't help us if her life depended on it. She'd do it for me. She hates the screws as much as you lot do. OK, say she did go to the papers. How do we know that they'd believe her? What with her record, they'd probably think she was some kind of nut.
Nolene's holding down a good job now. She's trying real hard to be respectable, so there.
It's worth a try.